Porn star Stormy Daniels sues Trump over non-disclosure agreement. Former adult movie star Stephanie Clifford filed a lawsuit against President Donald Trump, saying his lawyer forced her to sign a false statement provided to the Wall Street Journal in response to inquiries about an alleged sexual encounter with Mr. Trump. The lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid Ms. Clifford $130,000 in October 2016 in return for her signing a non-disclosure agreement, which prevented Ms. Clifford, known professionally as Stormy Daniels, from discussing the alleged sexual encounter. After the Journal learned of the agreement and contacted Ms. Clifford in January, Mr. Cohen used intimidation and coercive tactics to force Ms. Clifford to sign a statement denying there was a 2006 sexual encounter, Ms. Clifford said in the complaint, which was filed Tuesday in Los Angeles County Superior Court. Mr. Cohen and White House representatives repeatedly have denied any sexual encounter between Mr. Trump and Ms. Clifford, who said in a 2011 interview published earlier this year by In Touch Weekly that she met Mr. Trump at a 2006 celebrity golf tournament. Mr. Cohen didn't immediately respond to a request for comment, nor did a representative for the White House. Along with Mr. Trump, Ms. Clifford named as a defendant in the suit Essential Consultants LLC, a Delaware company Mr. Cohen used to make the settlement payment, but not Mr. Cohen himself. The lawsuit doesn't refer to a second statement provided to media by Ms. Clifford's manager in late January. The statement, which bore Ms. Clifford's stage name, said, "I am denying this affair because it never happened." The complaint alleges that the non-disclosure agreement, which it refers to as the Hush Agreement, is null and void because Mr. Trump never signed it. The lawsuit also alleges that Mr. Cohen breached the agreement when he publicly acknowledged the pact with Ms. Clifford and the $130,000 payment in a February 13 statement provided to news media. It isn't clear whether Ms. Clifford would return the money if she succeeds in having the agreement voided. Mr. Cohen also allegedly initiated what Ms. Clifford called a bogus arbitration proceeding in Los Angeles in late February without notifying her, in what she alleged was another intimidation tactic intended to silence her. The lawsuit says it strains credibility to conclude that Mr. Cohen is acting on his own accord without the express approval and knowledge of his client Mr. Trump, but provides no evidence of the president's involvement in the deal. The Journal reported Monday that Mr. Cohen said he was delayed in paying Ms. Clifford because he couldn't reach Mr. Trump in the final hectic days of the 2016 presidential campaign, citing a person familiar with the matter. After Mr. Trump's victory, Mr. Cohen complained to friends that he hadn't been reimbursed, the Journal reported. Mr. Cohen called those assertions fake news. The White House declined to comment on the Monday Journal article. Ms. Clifford's lawsuit asks the court to declare Ms. Clifford's agreement with Mr. Cohen invalid. Ms. Clifford alleges in the lawsuit that Mr. Trump, who was referred to as David Dennison in the agreement, didn't sign it so that he could later deny knowledge of the settlement. A copy of the agreement was attached to the complaint as an exhibit. Ms. Clifford was referred to as Peggy Peterson, according to the copy of the agreement. She also alleged that Mr. Cohen, because of his obligations as Mr. Trump's attorney,